And so today we are here to do justice to that. So good afternoon to you once again, ladies and gentlemen over the phone, via phone today too. And we have Mama Lee in the studio and Lydia as well in the studio. Good afternoon to you, ladies
Good
and
afternoon.
gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, so good to have you here once again. Um, Last week we spoke about the fact we laid the foundations, right? Explaining what marriage is and bringing it down to what will make anybody think or feel that marriage is a scam. And again, why the society, or I beg your pardon, the generation today actually believe that marriage is a scam. Meanwhile, Lydia also cited an example, or she asked the question where she asked if a marriage can be considered a scam if the pastor who initiated the ceremony is not licensed or gazetted to do so. So today we are going to take other aspects of it. Last week I saw Mama Lee come in with an A4 sheet about two of them, and so I know she had a lot to say, but she couldn't finish that. And I know Brad Mike had a lot to say as well. So once again, I don't know who would want to take us through the foundation of marriage again, just for those who are tuned in today. Mama Lee, you want to do that?
But marriage is an institution. It started from the beginning. All right. The last time when we spoke, it was like, Adam came.
Right.
And then you told me that, yes, he asked for.
No, he did not. You said he asked for a helper, and I said he did not. It was God who said that.
God said,
Yeah,
fine.
he needed a helper.
Okay, so God created a beautiful thing. Is that so?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Jokoto is on the line, and just so we can leave him to go about other businesses, we'll start off with him. Hello, Mr. Jokoto.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, please. Good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon.
All
and,
right.
good afternoon to all in the studio as well.
Yes, thank you. Ladies, he said good afternoon. Yeah, right. So now, last week I believe that we ended on where Lydia was asking about how valid a marriage is if the officiating minister is not gazetted or is not authorized to do that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. And I believe that we said that if that was the case, if the person had no authority to do so, the marriage was not valid. Yeah, right. Okay. So I want us to start off today asking about the whole abandoned kind of love, you know. A lot of ladies get into relationships because of the benefits that they stand to get, be it from out of the marriage, because some people have the perception that once you get married, there's a gift that comes with it, or there's a blessing that comes with it, which is actually very true. And then there are other people who feel that when you get married on the wedding day or on your wedding day, the church puts together an amount of money to help you start the journey together. So some people see it as an avenue to raise money or to get capital to set themselves up for a soft life, basically. Does that in any way lead people to think that marriage is a scam if things do not go as they envisioned it to be in the beginning? So I see Braben, he is well to do, or he seems like he's well to do and everything. I get interested solely because of how it's going to benefit me. I get into the marriage with him just to realize that he just knows how to pose and look good on the outside, but truly that's not the reality on the ground. Does that then make me say that marriage is a scam?
Awesome. Basically, that is just the problem. Once we do not see marriage for what it is, but for the benefits that we would get, we are likely to set ourselves up for trouble and then complain thereafter that it is a scam. I think the last time I said that one of the basic ingredients of a sustainable marriage is that spiritual connection that ties both souls together. And once that tie is there, whether it is good or bad, both are able to adjust and work things out and make the union work. But when it is tied to physical availabilities or unavailabilities, the moment things shift, everything becomes murky, and the relationship is very likely to fall on rocks. So that once you are tying the relationship with financial success, if there is a failure or if the tap of financial success is closed, there is a likelihood of the love that brought the relationship together to also close, and then the relationship falls off the cliff. And such a person will always come out screaming that marriage is a scam, which is not the case.
I see. All right, ladies, do you agree, Mama Lee?
Yeah, I think that these days a lot of marriages are scam. The last time when we had the program, I was telling you that please, it is not about, yes, I have you, you have me. I don't care whether you have or you do not have. Yes, but then now it is like, okay, you should have. If you have, I have you. And if I'm talking about if you have, you should understand that I'm talking about finance. I'm talking about you are good looking. This is a big boy. You know, he's great. You understand? So I have you, you have me. And then we go. But then, deep down, it is not. You understand?
Right.
So if, let's say, something happens, immediately, unfortunately, something happens, you would leave. You would go. You don't really care. You would leave. You will go.
Because the foundation was not set right or built right.
It wasn't built right. It was built on something financial, something handsome, nice, good, car.
It was
house.
conditional, basically.
It was conditional, basically. And that is what is happening these days. That is what is happening these days. It's not like, okay, me pese me buano. You know, me pese young core. Let's see what we can do, what we can build, what we can put together. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore. So it's like, okay, yeah, hey Charlie, I spot some car. The car not be easy. Once you spot a car that cannot be easy, you know that it be. There's cash there.
Would you go in for something like that?
I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. But I'm seeing that
Happening now.
now. I see a lot of girls and even guys who are, you know, they are just crazy about maybe a woman who has made it and she has money. He wants to go for her.
Right.
You understand?
But is that not to say that
It's a
maybe
scam. It's a scam. It's not love. It's deceit.
I am
It's
well-to-do.
deceit.
I'm looking for someone who is equally well-to-do. How is that deceit?
You are well to do.
Yes, I want someone who is stable, financially stable as well. How is that deceit?
You didn't ask me whether you are stable.
But would you date a broke person or would you marry a broke person?
Hey,
Mama Lee, I just
What a
asked a very simple question. Would you, yes or no? Because I know that I'm not saying that going for one who is rich, but at least to make life comfortable for you and for your offsprings, there has to be a level or a standard.
If you have a comfortable marriage, then you guys should prepare yourself before getting into the marriage.
Yeah, so I'm coming in with something. I'm expecting that whoever I'm getting into the marriage with also has something. It's not like you are going to live off of me or off of you only. We are helping each other. We are meeting each other halfway. Is that not how to go?
I'm saying, and I'm telling you that in the past it wasn't like that. You can be broke. Okay? You can be broke like you don't have half. But then when the person meets you and it clicks and is there, the person doesn't care.
I see.
The person will say, Charlie, let's do this together. Yes, let's do it together. Let's move. Let's see what we can put together. And that is love. You will do it.
So what
together.
if I'm looking at someone who would meet me halfway? That is not love.
You are meeting me halfway. How?
I want you to have because I have. So have something. Let me have something. Let's put it together and build a future for ourselves.
I'm asking you now. Is it like have something, have something, have something? Now it is like, okay, he has.
Based on your example you just made now, that's what I'm asking you. So if you have something and you're looking for somebody who equally has something, yes, so that the foundation to your relationship or your marriage is actually leveled. Is that a bad thing? Does that mean that it's not about love?
Oh, it's not a bad thing. But I'm saying that, Lydia, I'm saying that, don't say that because maybe you don't have, I mean, maybe you don't have a job, you're not doing anything, but then I see you and I like you. Yes, I mean, what's wrong? We can work together. I mean, you never know when it would hit. You understand? So it's not bad. But then if you have and I have, but it's not up to maybe
Each other's level
that we want, but then we agree that this thing
we will make it work,
but we go feel make come.
Okay, Mr. Jokoto, so I think with Mama Lee's submission, I don't know if you would want to say anything. Is it bad for me to decide that before I settle with somebody, the person has to be financially stable to at least a certain percentage or level?
Well, it is not bad to look out for the financial stability or otherwise. It is not a bad thing, but the most critical ingredients must have been ticked before we look at the financial part. If the financial part is the top of the list, then I dare say that the marriage is on a wrong footing, because it may not be the same forever. Even if the volume changes a little bit, there may be problems. For example, someone who is able to support the family with 10,000 a week, there is a financial challenge and a serious financial challenge, and he's not able to even afford 1,000 a week. There may be problems because the reason for the union was the financials, basically. But if the reason for the marriage is more of the soul ties, the firm foundation that is the building block of marriage, then the financials becomes an addendum. So whether it is there or not, the marriage can still stand.
Okay, right. Okay. Wow. And a baby. Anyway, so thank you, Mr. Jokoto. I believe that now we know the difference. But again, we have different preferences, so each to his own. Abi.
No,
Yeah.
but that's experience. It's experience.
What do you mean by experience?
Mr. Jokoto is talking out of experience.
But it doesn't mean that his experience will work for somebody.
Yeah.
We are different people.
But if you are saying if we don't look at me like
Why?
that.
Oh, Mama Lee, let's go. Today we don't have my time. Let's go. If what? You were saying something.
Yes, if I agree with him perfectly that if the basis is about finance,
Then there's a problem.
then there's a problem. Because if you cannot support, then the next thing, let me tell you, is either, Lydia said, don't look at me like that.
I'm not looking at you.
Okay. Is either the person will leave, you'll be having arguments every time
Right.
in the house, or the person will become immoral. Yes, because that is what was.
Was what?
That's how it started.
Ah,
That's what you saw,
right.
and that's what you liked, and that's what you loved.
Okay. So,
Yeah, but if I told myself that in my mind, and I said, oh, okay, he doesn't have, but we can fight and do it. Even when something happens, we will still stay together
are you sure?
and fight together.
Does it always work?
No, I am not saying that, but I'm saying that it is better.
But how
Then
about
go-
contractual marriages, right? We know people who have decided that they are going to be together or get married. Meanwhile, it has nothing to do with love, right? There's no love shared amongst them, but they've decided that for a goal that is beneficial to them or their families or persons involved with them, they would sacrifice and make that
which
happen.
goal? Which
It could
goal
be
are you
business,
giving
it
me?
could be anything for the benefits of their families.
You're asking a question. You asked us a question.
Yes,
Is
I'll
it a
ask you a
scam?
question.
Is it a scam? So if you are giving me it's a goal, I mean it's for a purpose. It's for something. We are scamming each other.
But they know they are scamming each other.
Yes. So
So
we are
that marriage is a
scamming we are scamming each other.
Right.
It's a scam.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to biological clocks. They say for men, life begins at 40.
40.
For women, you're gradually hitting your menopause around that time. So it's the it's not the same. We can't even be on the same. It's simply not the same. Let me just end it there. So can we say that societal pressures, right? And biological clock, I don't know where we get it from, but yes, it's become a thing. It's become part of us that there's something called the biological clock, which is taken on a daily for women especially, and also societal pressures as well. Can we say that those two have actually pushed a lot of women into a scam of a marriage?
Yeah.
You'll agree?
Yeah.
How so?
Because society is demanding a lady to marry once maybe she's done with school or maybe she's working. They feel maybe at the age of 26, 27, thereabouts going, you have to get married. So you'll be pressured. Maybe you have a guy you are dating. Maybe you don't like some things about him. But then maybe your mother is pressuring you. A boy, who's on and now that baby fee and all that. Now the boy in the now you can't leave. You see, they used
Because
to say
then you'd want to please society
yes,
and
they used to
family
say
as
that
well.
your era, they will say that I can't leave the marriage because I have a kid. I want the kid to grow before I leave the marriage and all that. That's how this gospel musician,
Yeah, cool.
she lost her life because she
Yeah.
had kids and she didn't want to leave the marriage and because society would judge her and all that.
Yeah.
So I feel it's also a factor, because if I'm not ready, you just have to let it be. So I feel parents, society shouldn't judge people, shouldn't ask people to get married, because it's also a scam.
Yeah.
Forcing them into the wrong marriages, right?
So a scam.
Mr. Jokoto, do you agree?
To some extent, yes, I agree with the fact that societal pressure has or is leading many into marriages that turn out to be scams. Like Lydia just said, if you are not well accustomed to the partner in questing, sometimes, like the question we just discussed, probably the man is well-to-do, has the financial wherewithal, and is able to support the family, support everyone in the family, and the mother is like, look, what are you waiting for? You are of age, and this man has what it takes to take care of all of us, including you. So go ahead, and the pressure goes for a long time. Becomes telling on the lady. She goes ahead, gets into the marriage, only to realize that, hey, it's not as rosy as it seemed and looked like. Then the problems begin to rise, and if care is not taken, then it becomes a lot of issues, sometimes ending in death and all that. So yes, societal pressure is one of the undertones of marital scams that we have come to see it today.
Wow, that's something. But then, do the parents or the society who impose these pressures on ladies especially, do they not see or do they not know of the damage that they stand to, do to these people?
Unfortunately, they may see. Of course, the adult folks know what, especially those who have been into marriage and all that, know what marriage is about, know what goes into marriage, know the challenges, understand most of the things. But when we begin to put some physicals ahead of the reality of marriage, it virtually covers the reality, and people begin to look at the instant reliefs that come out. Sometimes the parents are like, I'm waiting for my grandchild, I'm not growing any younger, what are you waiting for? So those kind of pressures push beyond the realities. Sometimes it's about the financials. Hey, but you're not bringing anything home. This young man is helping us. Why don't you go ahead? They look at the physical revenue, physical benefits at the expense of the reality that the person who is entering into the marriage would experience. It is clearly just blindfolding of the reality as against the benefits.
Right. Interesting. Mama Lee.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
What? As I said, experience is experience. What he's saying, it would even get to a point that you would cry. You can cry and get home.
Yeah, I don't cry. God forbid.
Okay. Thank God. And get home. And then it's like, no, this thing it's too much for me. I can't. I just want to end it. They can tell you. What are you talking about?
Who is they? The family or society?
The family, society. What are you talking about? Hey, person, Auntie Adra, no.
Person medio here. And all that. Sure.
Hey, abangmo, hey, abangmo, hey, mbi cafe. Cafe.
Cafe, they offer no remote tree.
Don't do that. Man, yes, sir.
men yes sir cafe touch me
Stay there.
stay there. You understand? Because if you do not, anti adrame I'm about ngbowo. Okay, Lydia doesn't understand that. Okay, so let me explain that.
Like they ridicule the family.
Yes,
Right.
they would. You see, she
But,
went
you know-
and she did. So, all these things, if you are not able to handle them, it gets crazy.
But then talk yearly.
So that's why I keep telling my friends that once you are getting married, you have to be financially stable. Even if you don't have all the money in the world, you should have, something. So if you're not being treated right in the marriage, it's easier for you to leave. Not to say that, because you have that money, you can leave, you can take care of your kids.
But in this instance, the family is the one imposing.
So if I have
the
my
pressure.
money, my family can't impose any pressure on me because they feel that maybe he might be rich, he's supporting them somehow. So if I have that money,
But is it always like that? Is it always like that? Because
Yeah, so
it's
you
like that.
can't get it that way every day. So once you are there, you have to try and get money some way, somehow.
But so what I mean is money always the solution? Because I know that there are families who have said that you can't go into a marriage and come out of it.
I keep saying money
You
is
won't
always
divorce
the solution.
in a family. Let me land, right? Because they believe that it means that you have failed. And some people have had that hammered into their head right from infancy that even when they get into relationships, knowing fully well the harm it is doing to them, they will sail through or hang on a thread, get into marriage, and that is where the worst of it begins. But then they will stay there because they say I said my vows and I said for better for worse till death do us part, because they do not want society or the family to see them as failures.
Yes.
So it makes me ask, do people really see whoever gets out of a divorce or get out of a marriage, I beg your pardon, as a failure? Is that what it is? Are you considered a failure if you decide to choose you and your sanity over whatever toxic environment you're in?
Yes.
Why?
That is the society that we have. Sorry. Christianity is one. Christianity is one. You go to church. You've gone to vow. And everybody knows that, yes, Oyo is married to this person.
Hey, madam,
Okay, sorry.
thank you.
So you are.
If I
It's okay.
was
It's
you.
okay.
And then you go to church every Sunday. Please. The day you don't go to church with your husband,
Questions.
once, twice, thrice, okay, what's happening?
Right.
Pastor would even call you and ask you what's going on. If you are the frank type, like some of us, you will say it. Say enkuyi. But if you are not, you will pretend that everything is fine. And that's why the singer will die. And that's why she died. Because she couldn't be bold enough to say it. She couldn't. Because the first thing that she thought about is, me kwa sorry ne yibisami a me kan zen. Me papa de sami a me kan zen, ma me bisanya me kan say. You know, the society, what would I say? And I am supposed to be a Christian, somebody who believes, in God. So you will stay there. And then the other thing is that another person will think, my children, you go to school, they would start asking, his friends would start laughing at him. Oh, yeah, now your mother and your father. So you start thinking, okay, it's okay. So
because of that, you stay.
You stay. There are a lot of reasons that.
Is that not the worst kind of scam?
That is what I'm telling you. It is a scam.
So it's easier to leave the marriage, right?
Yes, if you don't feel like if you feel that.
But you just said that if you leave, you're considered
a
failure.
Yeah.
That is the societal mind that people have. But then if you are strong, then you can take that decision.
So then
but
it doesn't make you a failure.
Doesn't make you a failure.
No, it doesn't make you a failure. But the thing is that a lot of people don't have that
confidence.
That was then. That was your generation.
I know. I mean, this generation.
but
this generation, they are just bold to leave.
Walk out. Yes.
It wasn't like
you can just walk
our mother's generation, because they'll be in the marriage rather than leave. Man, Linda, if you do something 1, 2, 3, I don't like.
Hey, madam.
You are gone.
Yeah. My mental health is important. Period.
Okay.
Mr. Jokoto, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so I believe that you are enjoying the ladies in the studio.
Absolutely.
Right. So this whole perception of if you walk out of a marriage or you choose you, like Lydia has said, if you do once, twice, thrice, she's done, she's gone. There's nothing anybody is telling her because her mental health and her life matters, right?
Yeah.
Why is it believed that if you walk out or if you choose you over a toxic relationship or marriage, you are then labeled as a failure?
Okay, so I would limit it to marriage. As for relationship, once there is not the marriage aspect and you walk out, no problem. But with marriage, the whole picture is picked from the Bible. I mean, because in scriptures it is stated that God hates divorce. So that emphatic statement makes it seem that walking out of your marriage is a failure and is an affront to God. But I have a different perspective. I always say that this is my opinion, and I say it clearly. Now, God's idea of marriage is putting together two people according to his will. But he gave us the choice to be able to find out who truly he has purposed for us. And so when he says that what God has joined together, let no man put asunder, he's talking about what he has already prepared according to his plan. And if we walk according to his plan, we find that match. And that match, let no man put asunder. But if we go and take our own choice because of our own skewed understanding of what we want, and it is joined together, and we are finding wahala, it probably is not his plan. He still has a room for us to move out and ensure that we are in the rightful place.
But then does that also not qualify for divorce? Because yes, maybe you might have married the wrong person before and now you want to come out of it. Is that still not divorce?
That is precisely so. That is also divorce. But then society would disapprove, based on the blanket and emphatic statement that God hates divorce, without recourse to understanding what has gone on or what has gone amiss.
Right.
You get the picture.
Yeah.
So for me, and as far as I'm concerned, I always say that there are so many angles to all of these things, so that society should not necessarily judge a person as a failure for coming out of a marriage. Like you said, somebody is being emotionally abused somebody is being mentally abused in marriage because of some of these hard and fast rules that have made people entangled in slavery rather than enjoying their marriages. And a lot of them end up in early graves, and some even end up with mental problems because of this situation. So clearly, yes, society's pressure and all that seems to make a divorcee look like a failure. But indeed, a divorcee is not a failure.
I like your submission. You made mention about what the Lord has said, what the Bible says. Mama Lee also, during her submission, talked about the church and all of that. So this brings me to my next question. There's our religious bodies, or should I say our religion, right? Our various religions. Do they play any role in making or unmaking a marriage? Because, I've heard a story where a gentleman was actually being emotionally abused in his relationship, in his marriage. But anytime he went to the pastor to speak to him, the pastor said, "You're a man. You have to be strong. You can't leave the marriage. You're a man. You have to show the woman that you are tough. Yeah, this." But this man was literally dying inside to a point where he lost himself. And then now he's turned his back on the church because he feels that the church contributed to his loss and to the damage that was done to him, that if the pastor had intervened when he brought the issue to him, maybe things could have been salvaged, as in he could have opted out of the marriage, he could have gone his separate way, his ex-wife could have done same, and they could have just saved themselves the extra hurts that they both endured. So, so am I right to say or to ask if our religious bodies or our various religions actually play a role in the making or unmaking of a marriage?
Yes, you are right. Society includes our religious bodies, our families and friends, colleagues, etc. And each of these have a role to play in the success of the marriage, and especially with Christian marriages that are seen to be certified when the pastor or priest is present to bless the marriage, whether it be in the church wedding or at the wedding grounds. We seem to see the marriage as certified when the church has blessed. And so the church necessarily has a very vital role to play. And again, the church has a vital role to explain the marriage according to God's plan, to ensure that those who are entering into the marriage institution understand really what they are committing themselves to according to God's plan, and that they are able to also determine by themselves whether truly this is God's plan for both of them, or it is just out of infatuation that they want to be together. If these things are well done and executed by the church, I believe many would come to a better understanding of what marriage is all about, rather than the warped ideas that we in this current generation have had. I mean, there are some churches who have gone to the extreme low, that is how I describe it, of saying that you should marry from the church or no other church. And that for me is an extreme low. I have also seen people who are married to even non-Christians who have had very beautiful and successful marriages. In fact, much more beautiful than that of Christians. So it is about the church also explaining and making people understand the real spiritual essence of marriage and how to get the right partner so that we don't enter into the regime of scams and then it becomes a blowback like the example you just gave. I mean, obviously there was a storm, there was an inferno in the marriage that needed to be addressed, and not just to speak about the strength of a man or the strength of a woman. Definitely such things would, after a period of time, the individual would explode. And even it could have been worse. If you say he's a man, he should be able to handle it. A man will handle his issues as a man. He could just beat and beat up, and do so many things to the woman. And that's where you have people taking a gun, shooting their wives and all that. There is an inferno. We need to address the issue. And if it is not something that can be patched together, it is not something that can be put together. The Bible says, can two walk together except they agree? If they cannot agree, they cannot walk together. So why force it? You understand? So some of these things, the church has a greater role to ensure that the marriage is sanctified and is solemnified according to God's plan.
Thank you very much. Mama Lee has a lot to say as well.
I'm laughing a bit because I mean, even the churches are scamming us. There is some scam.
Some of the churches.
Some are scamming. The reason why I'm saying that is when I have a church and I know that Mr. ABC is very rich and he's in my church.
Yeah.
Okay. And he wants to marry Abna, whatever.
Lydia.
Yeah, Abna Lydia.
No.
Fine. That's and then they have to marry. Even if
She doesn't want to.
she doesn't want to, or he knows, or he sees that no, this will not work. But then he wants them in their church. Why?
Because of the financial gain.
Financial gain, yes. I mean, because if they are there every time, money, it will just be flowing. So even if you are dying, madam, come to church. Even if you are dying, and then they come, and then they come and complain, and then she's doing this, and she's doing that. You know what I'll do?
Tell me.
That is what is happening now. They will call you. They say, madam, be patient. Everything will be fine. But he is scamming you. I mean, he knows that he's scamming you. Yes. So even there, if you take it there, it is happening there. At some places, they are scamming marriages. They are not telling them the truth. If you tell them the truth, they know that, okay, this one will say, all right, okay, then if that be the case, I'm tired. I want to find my own way. I want to go. But they will scam you because they need your money. So as for the scam, it is there. It's there. It's there.
Yeah. All right, interesting. So now let's talk about, we've said everything that would lead into a marriage being a scam, right from last week. We will dive into the positive aspects as well. But again, let me put it out there that today we are open to taking your calls. So if you've got anything you would want to contribute, and you would want to call 0544321019, 0544321019, or 0303 956641, 0303 956641. You can call us and share your contribution with us, or you can send it via voice note and we will play it on the show as well. Now we've spoken about the religious bodies, the role they play and everything, right? So let's get to switching from all the things that would lead into a marriage becoming a scam. And now let's come to what we can do, right, to change this perception. Because like we said, and even Lydia has said, that this generation today, they don't really believe in marriage. They don't care for marriage. And I mean, like she said, if I have my money, I am well-to-do, you can't show me foco. You understand? I am well-to-do. I don't really need you. That's the perception that a lot of people have. Now, swaying away from the original or the ideal idea God had when he was putting the institution married together. How do we change this narrative? How do we get people back to the basics from the day when it started, when it was beautiful, when it was pleasant?
Okay. I will take that, but I know Lydia would she will kick me off.
Oh no. Because not just me, most people don't believe
majority
in
of the youth today, they don't care.
So maybe you might be saying the right thing to put us on the right path. So it's welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just need a child and I'm good.
But I don't quite pass with their minds,
Yeah, I know. So should I go first? Or
Oui, madam.
No, you
have
first.
to go first.
Right. Okay, as a mother, a married person, experience in these things.
Yeah.
What I'll say first is communication. Communication would help when you are married and you have issues. If you do not talk, it does not work.
Right.
You understand? So if you ask me, the first thing I would say is talk, communication, communicate. You understand? You do, I don't like, fine. We sit and talk about it, but I do not keep it within me.
That's if you're married, right? But now the majority of the youth now do not even wants the idea of marriage to be spoken to them. How do we change their minds?
We are talking about the fact that is marriage a scam. We are talking marriage. I mean, I'm not talking. I mean, you can have your relationship.
I get what you're saying, but what you're
maybe
talking
I
about
might not be ready for marriage. I'm not interested. What can you tell me to convince me to get married?
What I would tell you, Lydia, what I would tell you is that even if you are in a relationship, okay, before planning to get into marriage, please, first thing, communication is very important.
All right, let's go to Mr. Jokoto.
No, I haven't finished. Let me finish, then you go to Mr. Jokoto. Communicate, all right? Have trust. If you don't trust each other, forget it. It doesn't work. It will not work. Yes. After that, have respect. Have respect. That is the advice I would give, even if you are in a relationship.
Okay.
Before you decide that you are getting married. Have respect for each other. You understand?
Yeah.
So if I am talking, you are talking. I'm shouting, you are shouting. Yeah, I mean, what kind of relationship do you have that would lead to marriage? You don't have it.
Okay.
No, I haven't finished.
Okay.
Mama Lee, you're thinking.
Emotional intimacy.
That is when you are in the marriage. Everything you're saying is when you are in the marriage, right?
You asked me what advice I should give.
Somebody who is not thinking of marriage, how would you convince them? Because now majority of the youth today, believe that marriage is a scam and they want nothing to do with that, right? But
Yes.
how do we get them to believe in marriage again?
That
Don't worry. Put your thoughts together. Let's go to Mr.
No,
Jokoto
no.
and come.
okay. Let's go. To
All right. Mr. Jokoto, are you still with us?
Certainly, I'm with you.
All right. So, I don't know if you understand my question.
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay. So, per the statistics we have now, a lot of the youth do not believe in the idea of marriage. And so, how
Yeah.
do we get them to learn to basically unlearn what they have learned, the negative things they've learned about marriage, and get them to believing in marriage again?
I think basically the training should begin from home, and then it should stretch into our churches and probably even into our system, of education. Because before the formal education system, our forefathers and our parents had their own education system that trained people generally for life, and life including marriage. So we should be able to start some of these things again from the home, from the churches, building people up with the right capacity and understanding of what marriage is. It is not good for man to be alone. There are needs of both parties. And man here does not necessarily mean a male figure. Man means, man, as I say here, is both male and
female, yeah.
There are needs that are addressed by the opposite party of either male or female. A male needs a female to address certain needs, and a female needs a male to address certain needs. Those things need to be made clear and understandable to all the younger ones, so that when the issue of marriage comes up, when you get to a certain age, and that is happening, you get people when they grow up to a certain age, they are like, I need a man in my life. I need a woman in my life. Yes, because there are certain things that need to be addressed by either party, no matter how financially sound, no matter how spiritually alert, no matter how whatever it is you have, there are certain things that you will need the other party, except for those who have been dedicated solely for a spiritual purpose.
Right.
Every other person would need. And so we need to be able to get the younger ones to understand the essence of marriage and bring that understanding down to its basics, so that they can also be able to make the rightful choices based on that understanding.
Thank you very, very much. Mama Lee, are you on board now?
Yeah, is it by force to get married now? You people don't even understand you don't. The fact is that you feel that I have my money, I am working,
and we want you to change that mindset they have,
and I'm okay. So, Mr. Jokoto, on this point, I don't agree with you. You think
so if your
that,
child says they will not get married, that's
you
it.
You think that religion now? Do you people even believe in that? Do you go to church? Do you go to church? Do you believe in that? So if you do not believe in that, how would you believe in marriage? That is what God created.
Mama Lee, I just asked you a simple question. If your child comes to you and says that they do not want to get married, you're okay with it?
No.
So what would you do to change their mind? That's what we are asking.
That is what I was telling you, that it is a creation from God. Now, my son. Okay, I'm calling you my son. I will sit you down and let you know that, Master, you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. So look for someone, and not just anyone. And that is why I started by talking about communication, respect, and all that. You stop me. Okay, fine. You look for a woman that has all those things.
That's what we are
then
talking
you know
about. But how would
No,
you
but
communicate? You said I
but-
stopped you. I
Yes.
stopped you because you have not found the person. You have not found the woman or the man. So how are you going to
No,
communicate?
because if you don't believe in it, how can you find a person? You have to believe. You have to go to church. Go, believe. Ask God.
All right.
Pray.
It's fine. Is there anything as marrying right, Mr. Jokoto?
Definitely, there is a thing as marrying right. Like I said, the Bible says, "He that findeth a wife finds a good thing and obtaineth favor from the Lord." It means that you would need to find a wife. There are women and there are wives, so you would need to find the wife. And the same scripture says that we should trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding, and He will direct our path. It means that when you trust in the Lord with your all, He will direct you to find that right partner, which will now give you that expected rightful marriage that you have always sought. We often rush and make mistakes because we look at, as we said from the beginning, we look at other things than the most basic thing. It is God who knows. Sometimes there is someone who might not seem that wealthy today, but has that blessing from the Lord to become that wealthy person in the future. Assuming, for example, someone who today you see has no vehicle, and probably your vision as a woman is to get married to someone with great wealth.
Yeah.
And then today he doesn't have, but he is probably the rightful person who matches up your character, matches up your persona, and would bring out the best in you. And you skip that person for somebody else. There might be the challenge in marriage because you skip the right partner, and you will always be having difficulties. So it's better to trust in the Lord and allow Him direct. And when you get to the rightful partner also, then you begin to understand, how the marriage would really go. There are people who are married to men who probably have lost their jobs, but you would hardly even hear of it because the two of them have so much understanding and love that the marriage has spanned so many years, even though the man is not working. And it's the same thing vice versa. There are so many of such situations, but it is all about getting the rightful partner, the right person who understands, you as you is supposed to be.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jokoto. Mali, how about you? Do you believe that there's a thing as marrying right?
Yes. Yes. There's a thing as marrying right, and I believe in that so strongly.
Okay.
Yes. If you come to me and if you are my daughter and you come to me and you say, Mommy, I met this
Sugar daddy.
no. I met this guy who is working at here, but as at now, they are not paying him. But then I like him. I love him, and I would wish to be with him. I don't think I'm that type of mother that would say no, because he doesn't have, so
He's not good for you.
it's not good for you, leave him.
Right.
I think I am the mother that would advise you that, okay, the first question I would ask you is, do you love him? That's my my thing, my in. If you do, then I don't have a problem.
Okay.
If you do,
You support them.
I will support you.
All right.
Let's go. Let's fight. Let's pray. God would open a way. But then, now, you people, you don't do that. You will never do it. You won't do. Me, I will always say, I will tell you people, you don't do. How can mommy tell me that I should go with somebody who doesn't have, and then we should fight together, and then we go together? Yes.
But you know the person who brought the person to you in the first place.
But when I said sugar daddy, why did you say no?
You brought the person because you felt
no,
that.
you can find love anywhere.
But then what is happening now is that even the mothers, present ones, they will not take that. Some mothers
Will
present,
you take it?
No, they will not.
Will you take it?
Oh.
Mama Lee, yes or no?
Yes or no? Hey. Oh, yeah, bro.
No laugh for poor man. Hey, anyway, Mama Lee has given herself up.
No, I haven't given myself up.
Would you take it? Will you
I
accept
would.
that? It took you a minute, oh, mommy.
I would. I would, because I have gone through stuff. I have gone through things. No, Lee, I will not lie to you. I have.
And it worked
through
out. So you
things.
believe that it would work again?
I think, but not now. What I'm seeing, the stuff I'm seeing from you guys, I don't think it would work.
All right. So in conclusion, what would be your final words on this discussion? We are bringing it to a close today. So
All
let's
right.
wrap it up.
Let me conclude. I was going to advise and say a few things, and I always tell you, when I come here, I do not have to just come and sit and talk. I have to advise. I have to educate.
Please do.
Yes. One, communication. I started. Yes. Trust. If you want it to work for you, respect. If you want it to work for you, that is if you have entered, right? Emotional intimacy, it will work for you. All right?
What is emotional intimacy?
Emotional intimacy is like you say, Kojo, let's go out. Let's go out. All right? Yes, so you and Kojo, you go out. All right? When you and Kojo go out, please, Lydia, don't go and pick your phone and be on your phone.
That's the intimacy.
Don't pick your phone. Put your phone down.
Can you behave yourself?
And chat.
Why does he have another definition for emotional
and
intimacy?
chat with Kojo. No.
But I think that's under communication.
Wait. One thing leads to another.
Emotionally be connected. That's what she's trying to say.
So
connect not just on the physical, but emotionally
being in tune. Do you understand? You don't go and then you are sitting down and then you've picked your phone and then you are doing this, and then the other one too is doing this. How can
Mama Lee, you have 1 minute. I mean, 30 seconds.
Okay. Do you understand my emotional? So that
makes
stop. So that will lead to other things. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Emotional. I haven't finished. Please, let me finish.
But what the hell is
wrong with
him?
Makes?
We are having a serious conversation. Why is he laughing?
God. Anyway.
Then we have forgiveness.
Okay.
All right? Yes. Learn to give. Forgive. Leave it. Don't hold on.
Thank you.
Then we have shared responsibilities. it's not just Lydia. I mean, he must also contribute and contribute and play his part. All right?
Yeah.
Gratitude and appreciation. So thank you.
Thank you to Mama Lee. Lee, have they been able to convince you and not confuse you with the discussion we've had?
Yeah, it's all good.
It's been good.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Jokoto, we'll take your final words before we finally get done with this discussion.
Okay, so in simple words, marriage is not a scam. It is beautiful. It is just how we enter that determines what we get. At the end of the day, it is about how we are prepared for it. It is an institution, and to enter into any institution, you need to be prepared. You need to have the focus and understanding of what you are going to pursue, and then you can be successful at it. So I can simply say that partners who want to enter into the institution of marriage should clearly understand what they are signing in for and be sure that they are really connected together, joined together, not physically, but more spiritually, so that the marriage institution can be continually sanctified and solemnified and become a beautiful thing for others to learn from.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jokoto. And I hope that since we started this discussion last week, we've been able to rather convince a lot of the youth now to rethink marriage and not to discard it or, do away with the idea of it completely. There are good marriages out there. And trust me, you will find that good person that you need to find at the right time. You just need to be diligent about it and keep praying as well, because I know God gives cheerfully and he will give you the right person that will make life comfortable and easier for you as well. You're still tuning to Highway 1019. Sports Update is coming up with the Sports Latan Jonathan Benzua. So stay tuned and do not go anywhere.